Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Java tutorial in our Java tutorial series. And in this tutorial, we are going to be covering how you go about deleting files in Java. So we're going to go through and we're going to delete files in a way that, in some ways that you're going to delete them normally. Well, I guess these are all different normal ways of deleting files, but there's multiple ways of doing it. There's certain ways that are in certain circumstances that are better than others, but that's kind of the general idea of what we're going to be doing here. So you can see here, I have already pre-created 10 files. You can see in my Eclipse we have test-1 test-1 through test-10. And they're all txt files. But they can be whatever file you want. So that's something of note. Alright, so first things first, let's pick a file we want to delete. Let's say I want to delete the 10th file. Right? So let's create a path object for that particular file. So path is equal to paths.get. And then in here, we're going to say test-10.txt. Just like that. Next, we need to import path and paths. There we go. Now, we can go ahead and here we're going to do something a little bit different. Before we just created the files or whatever out of the blue. But usually when you delete a file, you want to prompt the user before you delete it to ensure that what they want to delete is in fact the action they want to take. Because sometimes you could be deleting a file that has information they might need later on, and you have to warn them, hey, if you delete this file, you're not going to be able to get it back. So, we can do this by saying, by giving us a string, we're going to call it choice. We're going to set it equal to an empty string for now. And we can do a do while loop. Well, we don't even need a do while loop, technically. We can just say if choice. Say if choice dot equals ignore case, and we'll just say yes. So if it says we want to delete it, then we will delete the file. So before we delete the file, we want to say system out print line, or not even print line, just print. Do you want to delete? And then we'll just say path dot. Do you want to delete the file at and then we'll say path dot to, and then we'll get the absolute path. So whatever. So path dot to absolute path. And we'll give it a tab at the end of that. And then we're going to say, we're going to create a scanner. Is equal scanner is equal to a new scanner system.in. Just like that. Yep. All right. And then we will go choice is equal to scanner dot next line. Right, so we have that. Then we test if it's equal to yes. If it is, now this is where we delete the file. So files dot delete. And so we have two different options here. We have delete and then delete if exists. If you want to make sure that the file you select exists to delete, use that. Otherwise, we'll just use delete because we know it exists. So this will take in a path. And that's it. It just takes in a path. So we know what file to delete. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and put in an else. And we'll say if choice dot equals ignore case is equal to no, then we want to say system out print line. We'll say okay, we didn't delete the file. Otherwise, if it's anything other than no at this point, we'll just say system.out.println. Sorry, we didn't recognize your choice. As a result, the file was not deleted. Because that's usually what you're going to want to do, is if the user says something other than yes or no, you're going to want to not delete the file. Because it's better to, in that case, it's better to assume that they don't want to delete the file than it is to assume that they want to delete the file and then deal with an angry user later on. So, there we go. Perfect. Now, let's save this and run it. Alright, so down here in our console, we have our prompt asking us if we want to delete the file. So let's go down into, if I can find my cursor. Okay, let's go down here, click in here, and we'll say let's just say some random response. And we hit enter. You can see we get our we get the message that our response wasn't recognized. So the file wasn't deleted. Let's try to run this again. And we say no this time. Now we get our response, okay, we didn't delete the file. Cool. Exactly what we wanted. And now let's run it again. And we can say yes this time. We don't get a response back telling it that basically says, hey, we don't have the file anymore. And if you look in our sidebar here, you can see it's still there, but if we refresh, it's no longer there because we deleted the file. So that basically does it for this video, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one. See ya.